Guy, what's your instant reaction from that one? It seemed like it got us away from the team that second quarter, and then it sort of just went on from there.
Yeah, look, we got outplayed pretty comprehensively in that first half, and so look, definitely credit to the opposition, so quality team, and they did a nice job. I think the thing I'm disappointed with, we had 6 things written on the whiteboard as must-dos defensively in the first half, and we did none of them. I mean, 0 of them at all. So, yeah, the time spent in preparation obviously went in one ear and out the other, and we got to get a bit harder and tougher than what we were.
Apart from the defence, like you just said, what else sort of let us down tonight, you think?
Well, we've been having issues with turning the basketball over, and that reared its head again.
That points to turnovers. I mentioned that to Kennedy as well. 26 to 9 points off turnovers.
Yeah, so it's plagued us every game that we've had, and we've got a young backcourt, and the decision making is a bit frustrating at the moment, or it's a bit immature, because I think that when we find something that works, we've got to have an ability to go back at it. Instead, we often don't, and we just chase something else which is a little bit fleeting and ends in a unpredictable result. And at the moment, we're not very good in unpredictable basketball. So yeah, we're definitely crying out for some guard leadership and discipline at that point. So because it's hard to get tactical and find out, well, we want to go here or we want to go there, when we're just having basketball 101 issues about an entry pass or setting the play up or remembering the play, which, you know, is also happening.
There's some negatives, I guess some positives. Player Shanice off the bench, I know she was a bit under the weather, and Yamaya had some really good moments there, 19 and 9 with a couple of good blocks as well.
Yeah, so Shanice was recovering from some food poisoning she got in Melbourne, so I wasn't quite sure how she was going to be. We thought we'd have to use her in some spurts, and then she got going early and probably was a bit of a lone hand offensively to keep us in the game. So I'm pleased for her that she would have found some confidence offensively out of that. I think that, yeah, look, Maya, I think some good lessons playing against Tolo and playing with some foul trouble. I mean, because she was on 4 fouls. The 4th foul call was... Anyway, she had to play with it and did a good job to stay in the game, and then got some positive stuff going late, albeit against some of their bench post players. But look, to me, the highlight of the game is that I thought Carla Pittman just she didn't score, but she just did a great job. She was one player that bought into guarding Semi, and, you know, because we wanted to take the 3 away from Semi, and I just was really disappointed with our application in the first half. She hit 4 threes, hit 3 in the first quarter, and we just had people defensively weren't locked into the job that they were meant to do. And to get a young girl come in and work Semi as hard as what she did through that second half, I thought, you know, that was, to me, that was the highlight, and she led the way with showing some people that are a little bit more of a name player or a bit more of a reputation about how that should be done.
Absolutely, yeah. And one other highlight, obviously 2 debutants, Kaylin and Piper, talk about getting them in there and what it means to them to make their WNBL debuts.
Well, Caitlin played a bit last season, so yeah, I mean, she's been a good rock, and we're actually we were going to get her in earlier in the game in the 3rd quarter when we just needed to get a bit of presence defensively, but it didn't quite work offensively for us, so we just sat on it and then put her in for the last half of the 4th quarter. But I think she, even though she's a development player, she gave me good reasons why I should be playing her a little bit, so I've got to investigate that. And yeah, congrats to Piper for making her debut.
Guy, After a performance like that and after a result like this, how do you, as a coach, turn around and look at how you're going to get the team revved up again about the next game coming up?
Well, I think that the thing with this team, given who we lost, is that the personality of the team changed really quickly right before pre-season, and it just shows the inexperience of our backcourt presently. So it's not necessarily about I can flick a switch and instantaneously get another 200 WNBL games into a young guard. That can't happen. I think that we just need some patience in our process to chip away and get better at things. So I don't really think it's an issue of motivation. I just think it's an issue of getting back to work and evaluating errors and trying to be a little bit better next time again. But I don't think that's going to be a fast fix.
And during the game, there were times when you were obviously getting frustrated with what you were seeing on the court. For you as a coach on the sidelines, how do you manage that frustration?
Oh well, we'd spoken a lot about self-inflicted wounds when we lost to the Flyers by 8, and we had a 21-point game, and we didn't feel that the majority of those turnovers were caused by the other team. We just gifted them the ball back. And we came back and had 2 pretty sharp training sessions where we talked about valuing the basketball, making easier reads and easier passes, and we just came out again tonight and that went out the window. So it's frustrating because WNBL play, you want to assume that there's a level of maturity here, but as I said, the way things have landed for us at the moment, we're just we've got a very inexperienced group of guards, and so I think we just got to ride it through. So yeah, look, I'm definitely frustrated by the last 2 games, but there's a process that they've got to go through and be better with their basics and make better decisions under pressure, and all we can do is go back to training and work at that again.
You've spoken a bit about how, the Flames, you've got a lot of kind of young players, but playing against a team again today like the Flyers last week, they've got a lot of veterans, a lot of experience. There must be quite a bit that the girls can kind of take away from that, I imagine.
Oh yeah, look, it's for the team tonight and for the Flyers last week. I'm sure that if you take Kayla and Michaela out of our group, Kelly Wilson would have played probably triple the number of WNBL games that our entire rest of teams probably played. Something silly like that, it would be pretty profound. So again, we didn't design it to be that way, but things happen late in the off season that were out of our control, and now we just find ourselves that people have been thrust into opportunity, and good for them. They've got to learn to grab it.